for the first 47 MCQs, you can get the answers from there are two methods. One way you can get the recording if you WhatsApp can send a request to this WhatsApp number, or else you can subscribe Japura Zone YouTube channel or channel Japura Zone. If you search in the YouTube channel Japura Zone, then you can watch all the previous lessons, video lessons, not only science, even Sinhala, English and mathematics. So now from this week, now until last week we did the lesson on Tuesday morning. Now from this week, the schools are closed on only on Wednesdays and Fridays. Therefore, we are conducting zonal seminars on Wednesdays and Fridays. So Friday, I think you have the three other subjects mainly. Those 2 days, Sinhala, English, science and mathematics. Right, so we'll without wasting time, we'll continue from question number 47. So I asked all the students who joined last week to complete the remaining MCQs of this paper, and after that we are planning to start some series of model papers and to discuss some support seminar papers also in the future. First you have to do a complete revision of the all three areas, chemistry, biology, physics, of both 10 and 11 syllabus. Now O-level science paper you are getting nearly 40 to 50% from grade 10 syllabus. Therefore sometimes you have missed the lessons grade 10, and sometimes you might have forgotten now, and therefore you have to revise before O-level exam grade 10 all 20 lessons. The best method is you have to practice some questions under each chapter, and you have to see whether you can answer O-level exam type questions from basic level to the higher level. Right. So we'll start from question number 47. Those who have done, you can mark with the red pen the answers, and those who couldn't do this, or those who are joining only today, if you cannot do the video, you can send a WhatsApp request message, or you can get from your school teacher or from the school, and the answers you can watch the recording for the first 47. Right. Please raise the hand those who joined last week. How many of you have joined last week? Right. Please raise the hand those who joined last week. We discussed until question number 47. Right, around 15 students. Okay, all the others newcomers. Right, okay. So today we can start one of the hardest part of grade 10, chemical calculation. In other words, unit 7 grade 10, that is quantification of elements and compounds. Many students find this lesson a bit hard, difficult, and you are definitely getting questions from this also in the O-level science paper. So but if you learn the basic concept, then the questions are not hard. The same patterns of questions you are getting in the paper, simple calculations. Now the most difficult task is elements, molecules, atoms not visible to our naked eye. Therefore we are going to quantify, or to calculate the number of atoms, or to calculate the mass or the molar mass or the number of molecules that are not visible to our naked eye. So that's why some students they find it a bit difficult, not like just counting the macro particles, this nano scale, the atoms and the bonds. Okay, first one, relative molecular mass. Okay, I'll quickly summarize. So under this lesson, these are the things you should know. I'll give the summary of this, the list of this, or else I'll share the screen. Give me a second. These are the things that you should know under unit 7. Grade 10, unit 7, quantification of elements and compounds. Basically, these are the main areas where you get questions. Number 1, you should know how to, when you are given, you should know the equation or the expression to calculate relative atomic mass. We call it RAM. RAM means the symbol we use AR, the standard symbol AR, right? Relative atomic mass, RAM. Within bracket you can write the standard symbol is AR. Then next one, relative molecular mass. We call it RMM or MR, relative molecular mass. We call it MR. The next one, you should know how to calculate the molar mass. Number 3, molar mass. Molar mass. The difference between the numerical value, relative molecular mass and molar mass, you get the same answer. Only difference, molar mass has units. So RAM, no units. So you better copy down this separately in your writing book. No units for the RAM, because mass of any atom expressed to a standard called atomic mass unit. One more thing, under RAM you should know this one no units. So this one no units. Under RAM you should know one more thing, that is I'll write it here, relative atomic mass unit, AMU. I'll put here number 2, AMU, atomic mass unit, AMU. Number 3, I'll make it number 3, this one number 4, molar mass. So atomic mass unit has units, but molar mass, RAM relative means no units. The molar mass, it has unit grams per mole. Grams per mole. AMU also has units. It's in gram. Then number 5, you should know when you are given then next one molar mass I gave, and the other one number of moles and Avogadro constant. How to calculate number of moles? Those moles. So number of moles, we use the symbol N. Molar mass we use the okay, that also I'll put the standard symbol. Molar mass we use capital M, capital M, capital M. So the unit grams per mole, unit grams per mole, and moles we got we get the unit MOL, MOL. Then number 6, Avogadro constant. Avogadro constant. Avogadro constant, that is the symbol we use either Na or capital L, either L or sometimes we use Na. The unit per mole. What is the unit of Avogadro constant? Per mole. Then you are getting the so these are the main subtopics, so the areas where you get questions. Now the calculations you are getting under this calculation. So this is the theory, and the other one calculation. Calculations you get from say example, when you are given the data, maybe you are given RAM, then when you are given RAM, you should know how to calculate the molar mass and the relative molecular mass. Relative calculation of relative molecular mass and molar mass. So then you should be given what? To calculate relative molecular mass and the molar mass, you should be given the RAM. Relative atomic mass is given. So one calculation is this you are getting. That's what I have given question number 47. What is the relative molecular mass? To calculate the relative molecular mass or the molar mass, what you need, RAM is given. So here the RAM is given. Relative atomic mass is given. Otherwise you can't calculate that. So it's given in the exam. No need to memorize the RAM of any element. You don't need to memorize. It's given in the exam. RAM given. Then number 2, to calculate, next one, to calculate molar mass, number of moles. To calculate number of moles, what is given? To calculate number of moles, or that is called the amount of substance in chemistry. The amount of substance in chemistry calculated in number of moles, not in kilogram or gram. This SI unit, you can write that if you want. SI unit of measuring the amount of substance in chemistry, number of moles. So that is simple N the symbol, but unit is MOL. How to calculate moles? To calculate moles, what is given? What should be given? Mass and simple M, and capital M is given. Simple M is mass, capital M is molar mass. So these two should be given, otherwise you can't calculate the number of moles. Or you should be given the number of atoms or molecule and the Avogadro constant. Right? You should better copy down this. I'm just summarizing the entire lesson. Then number 3, to calculate the number of atoms or the number of molecules. Calculate number of molecules. You should be given Avogadro constant and the moles. Either moles, mass. Either if you are not given moles, you should be given mass. I'll put the symbol here. Simple N or simple M has to be given. If simple M or simple N, and Avogadro constant, I put L, should be given, or Avogadro constant we use N also. So that should be given. Otherwise you can't calculate number of molecules. Next one, to calculate number of atoms. To calculate number of atoms also you need the same information. Atomic moles of atoms or the mass of the substance, and Avogadro constant is given, the same information. That is to calculate the number of atoms. So these are the most frequently asked questions in the exam, to calculate moles, to calculate molecules, and to calculate the number of atoms. Sometimes they associate this chemical calculation with the reactions. Let's say example, iron extraction. How many kilos of iron or how many grams of iron that can be obtained from this much of hematite, or how many molecules of oxygen, or how many molecules of hydrogen, or how many grams of oxygen can be obtained from this much of hydrogen peroxide, or this much of condensed. That is the hardest part. They associate, because you are not doing chemical reactions in this lesson. Grade 10 unit 7, the teachers, they don't incorporate this with the chemical reaction, but O-level science paper they combine this with grade 11, I mean even with the chemical reactions. That is the hardest part. So we have to balance the reaction. After balancing, when you are given the mass or the moles of one substance or the reactant or the product, you can get all the others. You can get all the others after balancing the equation. If balancing go wrong, everything your calculation will be wrong. So those things very important to understand. So therefore, to calculate number of atoms, you should know the atomic moles. To calculate number of molecules, you should know the moles of the molecules. So those are the most frequently asked questions or the calculations under this. And this is the theory. I have put the leftmost side, the theory that you should know. So you should have a checklist. So as you all are getting prepared for the exam, the best thing, you should have a checklist under each lesson. Okay, so you can list down the areas, most important areas where you get frequently the questions, or else you can get the assistance of the teacher, and then you can put a tick whether you're okay with that section or not before you go for the oral past papers or support seminar or any other model papers. Right. Now I'll explain. Now I have given questions of all the types in this out of this 100 MCQs chemistry paper. I have given questions from all these types. Therefore, it will be a good revision of this chemical calculation part. That is one of the hardest part. The students find it difficult. To go for A pass, you should know this definitely. Right? Calculation part. Right. Anyone still copy now? Raise hand. Shall I read the screen? Done, right? Okay. If any one of you having a problem on internet connection or network problem, you can, or power failure or anything, you can get the recording through the school teacher, or you can directly WhatsApp to the WhatsApp number. Right? Now, one more thing. The most important calculation you are getting here is moles, mass and molar mass relationship. Moles, mass and molar mass relationship. So how to find the number of okay, this is called more. If you can search in the internet, even there's like, this is not given in your textbook, but you can, this is a short method I am telling. When you are given any two of this, you can find the other one. When you are given any two of this, you can find the other one. Imagine if you are given mass and molar mass, then you can find the moles. If you are given mass and molar mass, you can find the moles. Then you can find the moles. If this is given, you can find the moles. If these two are given. Or if you are given any two of these, you can find the other one. So that's what I am trying to now teach this molar mass and mass, that we call it the small triangle. Now if you want to calculate the number of moles, you need this equation. The first equation, number of moles equal simple M over capital M, that is mass divided by molar mass. So the unit in grams, simple M in grams, capital M grams per mole. Then gram get cancelled, you get the final answer in mole. So if your equation is correct, you will get the correct unit. No need to think about the unit separately. So I will relate this to the this triangle. Now if you want to find the number of moles, you can find the number of moles. Simple M divided by capital M. Simple M divided by capital M, you get what? Molar mass. Imagine now, okay, I want to find so unknown. Okay, this is like I put division, so you can easily understand. I'll make it more clear. So if this side you get division, this side also you get division, this side you get multiplication, right? Look at this now. Now if you want to find moles, so I will cover moles here. If you hide moles, the method is revealed. What is the method? How to find N here? I'll highlight this one, M. Moles, how to find the moles? Simple M or capital M. You can see the method is revealed. Is that clear? So if you hide the one that you want to find, then the method is revealed by the remaining two. Okay, I'll build the second equation for this. Look at the screen, everyone. Now I want to find number 2. If I want to find simple M, that is mass, I want to find the mass, then what should be given? The remaining two should be known. What should be known? Simple M and capital M should be known. So if to find any one of these, the other two should be known, otherwise you can't do the calculation. So either they will give the information in the exam to calculate the other two. So I will highlight now simple M, that is a mass. So here also I'll make it pink. How to find this? But then if you cover simple M, what is left? Method is revealed by the remaining two. Simple N into capital M. Moles into molar mass. So therefore you should better remember this triangle. Then it's very easy to remember. If you cover the one that you want to find, the method is revealed. So what is simple M? Moles into molar mass. Moles into molar mass. This is the second equation. Don't know which one they'll give in the exam. When you are given the data, you should know the rest. So any substance, maybe any chemical substance, if you know the moles and the molar mass, you can find the mass. That is second equation. So then the initial equation is the first one, but you can rearrange that equation to get 3 other equations, or else from the first equation, forget about the triangle, from the first equation you can get the second equation. Now you take capital M to the other side, to the left side. If you take capital M to the left side, then simple M become the subject. Then you can find the mass. Third one, number 3. What is the remaining one? I didn't highlight. Capital M. How to find capital M? Capital M you can find. How to find capital M? If you cover capital M, what is left in the triangle? Simple M divided by simple N. Mass over moles. Mass over moles. Mass divided by moles. Mass divided by moles. Then you can get the equation easily. I'll write that separately, the third equation. If I want to find capital M, then I cover capital M in the triangle. Then the method is revealed by the remaining two. What is the method? Simple N, simple M divided by, look at here, simple M, pink one, divided by simple n, mass divided by moles, then you get molar mass, mass divided by moles. Therefore, there are three types of calculations you can get from this these three variables or these three parameters. Now, the other most important thing, in the exam, this is the most frequently asked question. When you are given the mass of any substance, you should know how to convert that into moles. How? To find moles, what do you need? Molar mass. Look at the equation. To find moles, you need simple m and capital M. Simple M divided by capital M. Then you get moles. Then from moles, you can find the number of atoms. Number of atoms. How? Or number of molecules. If you know the moles of atoms, then you can find number of atoms. If you know the moles of molecules, you can find directly the number of moles. So if you know the moles of molecules, then you can find directly the number of molecules by multiplying the moles by Avogadro constant. So you can, if you know the moles, you can find basically molecules as well as atoms. Number of molecules and number of atoms if you know the moles. Number of atoms. How? Multiplied by Avogadro constant. What is the Avogadro constant? 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. 6.022 into, that's given in the exam. No need to memorize. Even in the aerial chemistry paper, periodic table, and this Avogadro constant is given 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. You multiply. This also 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. You multiply the number of moles of atoms by Avogadro constant to find the total atoms. So you better copy down this, because no time to now lesson by lesson you can't do from the very beginning. You don't have time to do like that. So therefore you have to learn theory when you are doing the questions like this. Okay. So those are the basic things that you should know, the most frequently asked the questions under this lesson. To calculate RAM, very rarely there may be MCQs they can ask. The equation for the RAM and the molar mass you should know, but basically most frequently the questions you get from these areas. Now sometimes if they directly give moles, then no need to find moles. You can multiply directly by Avogadro constant to find the number. Now one more thing, if you take one water molecule, look at the screen everyone. If you take one H2O molecule, one water molecule, one H2O molecule, it has two hydrogen atoms and one oxygen atom. Two hydrogen and one oxygen. But if you take H2O mole, H2O 1 mole. Now here the first one I put H2O molecule. One molecule, not molecules, one molecule, H2O molecule. So one man, two hands. But if you take H2O mole, 1 mole, H2O 1 mole. If you take H2O 1 mole, not molecule, 1 mole, then you can't tell just one oxygen atom or two hydrogen atom. Then you have to tell this has what? 2 moles of hydrogen. This one has how many? 2 moles of hydrogen. Look at this. This is very important. I am giving the concept, then even no point of doing 100 questions. You will just copy down the answer without knowing the technique or the method. So if you are given 1 mole of water, it has 2 moles of hydrogen, not just 2 hydrogen. First one, 1 molecule, 1 man, 2 hand. But if you take 1 mole of human, 2 moles of hands. That's what it means. 1 man, 2 hands. But if you take 1 mole of humans, 2 moles of hands. Something like that. Now oxygen, here you get how many atoms? Not atoms. Before you can find atoms, but before that you have to find 2 moles. So 1 mole of oxygen atom. Now you can find the number of atoms. Now in 1 mole of water, how to find the number of oxygen atoms, hydrogen atoms? 2 moles of hydrogen into Avogadro constant. Copy down this everyone. Now I want to find the number of hydrogen atoms in 1 mole of water. Number of H atoms in 1 mole of water. Copy down this question everyone. Number of H atoms. Number of H atoms, hydrogen atoms in 1 mole of water. How to find? Look at here. Number of atoms. What is the equation? Number of atoms I gave the top. Number of atoms equal moles into Avogadro constant. But you have to make sure the moles should be what moles? Oxygen moles or hydrogen moles. depend on the element given. To find number of hydrogen atoms, you should know the hydrogen moles into Avogadro constant. H moles into Avogadro constant. Hydrogen moles, hydrogen atomic moles into Avogadro constant. Hydrogen atomic moles, how many moles in 1 mole of water? 2 moles. One, look at here left side, I highlighted that blue. 1 mole of water has 2 moles of hydrogen. Therefore what? 2 moles of hydrogen into Avogadro constant, 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. You can multiply this. When you multiply this by how many moles here? Hydrogen, 2 moles. 2 into Avogadro constant. 2 into Avogadro constant. So then it will be 12 times 12.044. 2 moles into Avogadro constant. But if you want to find oxygen atom, this should be multiplied by 2. Is that clear? Now this is the one of the hardest questions they can ask in the exam, to find atoms when you are given the moles or the mass. Now if I want to find number of O atoms, look at here, copy on this also. If I want to find number of oxygen atoms in 1 mole of water, number of H atoms in 1 mole of water, I'll make it in 1 mole of water, in 1 mole of water. Please copy down, then you can after that we'll quickly get the answers for the questions. Okay, then I'll put a curly bracket for this. Then number of oxygen atoms. How to find number of oxygen atoms? Number of O atoms. Yes, number of oxygen atoms will be 1 into oxygen atomic moles. Oxygen moles into Avogadro constant. Oxygen moles, how many? 1 mole of water has number of oxygen atoms in 1 mole of water. Number of oxygen atoms in 1 mole of water. 1 mole of water has 1 mole of oxygen. Look at the one I have highlighted blue. 1 mole of water has 2 moles of hydrogen and 1 mole of oxygen. Therefore, 1 into Avogadro constant. Oxygen moles into Avogadro constant. I put here Avogadro constant, say NaOl. Then you can write 1 into Avogadro constant. 1 into Avogadro constant. But if you want to find the total atoms, this should be what? 3 into Avogadro constant. Why? Total moles will be 3 moles. Total atomic moles 3. 1 mole of water has 3 atomic moles. So there are 3 type of question they can ask. If they give 1 mole of water, they can ask hydrogen moles 2, oxygen moles 1. Then you can go for the hydrogen atoms. From moles to atoms. Now if you want to find the total atoms, look at the screen. I'll write somewhere else. No space here, so I'll write the right at the top. Now if I want to find the total atoms in 1 mole of water, I'll erase this. Total atoms in 1 mole of water. How to find the total number of atoms? Total number of atoms. Total atoms in 1 mole of water. 1 mole of water has 3 moles of atoms. 2 moles of hydrogen and 1 mole of oxygen. Therefore, total atoms in 1 mole of water. In 1 mole of H2O. Only thing, this is the, they can change only the molecule in the exam. The method is same. Whatever the molecule given, the number of atoms, the same technique. First you have to look at the chemical formula and then check how many atoms in from each element, and then you can get it. Total atoms what? 3 into Avogadro constant. 3 moles of atoms. Total 3 moles. So I'll put here total moles will be here 3 moles. 3 moles total. 2 plus 1. Total 3 moles. Total 3 moles. Total 3 atomic moles. Total 3 moles. 2 plus 1. So therefore 3 into Avogadro constant. 3 into Avogadro constant. Now imagine if you are given glucose here. What type of, how can you adjust this? If you are given C6H12O6, if you are given 1 mole of glucose or 180 grams of glucose, you can find what? Carbon atoms. Then what is the value I should put here? Okay, I'll highlight them red. Only this figure will change. This figure will change. Here I should put what? Carbon atoms 2. If I want to find hydrogen atoms, it will be 12 here. See, number of hydrogen atoms in 1 mole of glucose, what? Instead of 2, I had to put here 12. The rest is same. If I want to find the carbon atoms, now here oxygen, say oxygen atom, this should be C6H12O6, sorry about that, O6, right. Now if you want to find the oxygen atoms, you have to put here 6. if you want to find carbon atoms, then you have to put here 6 moles of carbon into Avogadro constant. The same method, only the molecule they can change in the exam. Only the molecule they can change in the exam. It's very easy. Now, if they ask to find the total atoms in water, total number of atoms in say glucose total atoms, 1 mole of glucose total how many atoms? Yes, who can tell me the method? Who can tell me the answer? Like, no need to simplify, just tell me, raise that this into this. 1 mole of glucose, how to find the total atoms? Any volunteers? No need the final answer, no need to multiply, just tell me, sir, this into this multiplied by this, that's enough. Yes, we have run mini. Yes,
24 into Avogadro constant.
okay. Others, Imasha, Vilana, Sitlin.
24 into Avogadro constant.
Very good.
24 Avogadro.
Avogadro constant.
Yeah, all okay. Very good. Excellent. All four, if you get the same answer, 24 into Avogadro constant. 24 into Avogadro constant. Now you got the point, right? Now imagine you are given, I'll give one more example. If you are given, say, CH3COOH, acetic acid. CH3COOH, acetic acid. Okay, I'll ask a simple, tell me, if you are given 1 mole of acetic acid, either they will give either mass or the moles. If you are given mass, you can convert into moles in the first equation. So if they don't give moles, they will give the mass. Then you have to convert first mass into moles using the first equation. Remember that. Sometimes in the exam they will not directly give 1 mole of glucose or 1 mole of acetic acid. They will give 100 grams of vinegar or acetic acid. Right? Then you should know, you should remember, I should convert grams or the mass into moles before I calculate the number of atoms. Now CH3COOH, I'll give here 1 mole. 1 mole of acetic acid, 1 mole of CH3COOH. Now I want to find the total number of acetic acid molecules. 1 mole of acetic acid, how many molecules of acetic acid? Tell me, who can remember? Tell me the answer. Any volunteers? 1 mole of acetic acid, how many acetic acid molecules? 1 into Avogadro constant. Moles into Avogadro constant. You get acetic acid molecules. Acetic acid molecules. Now if I want to find, because if you directly multiply by 1 into Avogadro constant, you get acetic acid molecules. Number of acetic acid molecules. But if I want to find total number of hydrogen atoms in 1 mole of acetic acid, here's how to find it. Total number of hydrogen atoms in 1 mole of acetic acid, who can tell me the answer? Any volunteers? What about the other students? Okay, Sitlini, yes, Sitlini.
4 into Avogadro constant.
Very good, excellent. 4 into Avogadro constant, because 1 mole of acetic acid has how many hydrogen atoms? 4 hydrogen atoms. 4 mole of hydrogen, not just hydrogen atoms. 1 mole of acetic acid has 4 mole of hydrogen. H will be 4 moles. Then you have to do 4 into Avogadro constant. Right, my second question. So 4 into Avogadro constant. Okay. Then if you want to find oxygen, total number of oxygen atoms in 1 mole of acetic acid. Yes, any volunteers? Imasha?
2 into Avogadro constant.
2 into Avogadro constant, because 1 mole of acetic acid has 2 mole of oxygen. 2 mole of oxygen. Very good. 2 mole of oxygen. Carbon will be what? 2 mole, because there are 2 carbon atoms. Carbon also will be 2, because you get here all together 4 hydrogen, 2 carbon and 2 oxygen. 2 mole. Did you get it? Now if I want to find, okay, my last question. So if you can get this, then you can manage this chemical calculation easily. No point of doing even 100 calculations, 100 questions if you don't get this concept. Now if I want to find total number of atoms in 1 mole of acetic acid, total number of atoms in 1 mole, so don't just count, I'm not telling 1 molecule, okay, don't, please remember, you should check in the exam whether they are telling 1 molecule or 1 mole. If they give 1 molecule glucose, just 24 atoms. 1 water molecule, just 3 atoms. 1 mole, 1 acetic acid molecule, 1 molecule of acetic acid, here you get 8 atoms. But 1 mole of acetic acid, how many atomic moles? Total atomic moles. How to find the total atoms? Yes, tell me this into this. Yes, how many total atoms in 1 mole of acetic acid? Any volunteers? Some of you all raise the hand. Yes, How many total atoms in 1 mole of acetic acid? Imasha?
8 atoms.
No, I repeat the question. 1 mole of acetic acid, how many atoms total? How many total atoms? Total how many atoms? 1 mole of acetic acid, how many atoms total? Lakmali, Shashika?
8 into Avogadro constant.
Very good. 8 into Avogadro constant. Okay. 8 into Avogadro constant. Very good. Excellent. Now today, like many students have got absent. I don't know whether some schools they have not got the link because this lesson you can understand is very important, right? You know, no one is going to teach from the beginning because there's a lot left in the grade 11. So get the maximum benefit. At least ask them to watch the recording, and if any students finding this lesson difficult, so this is also a good chance for them to recover this. Right. Now my next question. If I give sodium chloride, NaCl, 1 NaCl, how many atoms? Any volunteers? 1 NaCl, how many atoms? Sandali?
2 into Avogadro constant.
Okay, now again I'll repeat. I didn't tell 1 mole of NaCl. I told 1 NaCl, how many atoms? Shavani? Okay, I'll ask from Pilana, Imasha.
2 atoms.
2 atoms. Sitlini?
2 atoms.
Ihanga? Right. Okay, I didn't get the answer yet. Not 2 atoms. That is wrong. Okay, this is the most interesting thing. Okay, any other volunteer? How many atoms in 1 NaCl? Vihanga? I didn't get the answer. It's not 2 atoms. How 1 NaCl? How many atoms? Dinil?
6.022 into 10 to the power 23.
No. I gave not 1 mole. I gave. Okay, this is the most important thing. Okay, I'll explain. Let me explain. NaCl does not contain any atoms. Write it, everyone. NaCl has no atoms. It has only ions. NaCl has no atoms in it. This is very, very important to understand. If you are given an ionic compound, no one can make a question by putting the word atoms. Ionic compounds like NaCl, no atoms in it, it has only ions. NaCl has no atoms. NaCl has only ions. Has only ions. Only ions, no atoms in it. If there are atoms, NaCl has to be a covalent compound. NaCl is made of Na plus and Cl minus, no atoms, and it does not exist as one unit. It is an ionic lattice. Therefore, if someone is asking that question, you have to tell what? 0 atoms. 1 NaCl or 1 mole of NaCl, 0 atoms. Did you get the point? Therefore, mostly in the exam, you are getting this calculation for the covalent compound, molecules, discrete molecules. So now try to get now. Actually, your main intention of this lesson is to improve your chemistry knowledge. I'm not like not like just fully exam oriented, like memorizing and train you to memorize this and that by using different techniques. So recalling the previous memory is not the most important now. The most important thing now, whether you can analyze the data, whether you get the concept properly, and whether you understand the subject, whether you are good in chemistry or not. That's what matters at the end. That's why try to improve your chemistry knowledge, then automatically you will perform very well in the exam and get good results. Right? Therefore, NaCl has no atoms. So if you take, say, magnesium chloride, no atoms, it has only ions because they are ionic compounds. So then I should ask how many ions in it. NaCl, 1 mole of NaCl has 2 moles of ions. 1 mole of Na plus ion and 1 mole of Cl minus ion. Is that clear? So, but O-level paper, they don't ask to calculate the number of ions. Mostly they ask to calculate number of atoms. But if they ask, you should know. That's why I'm telling this. If any one of your parents do A-level science, then it will be important. 1 mole of NaCl has 1 mole of Na plus and 1 mole of Cl minus. If you want, you can copy down this. No atoms in it. Very important to understand. Right. So I told now before any section, I will give a complete summary of the entire theory lesson then you recall the knowledge, I mean the theory within a few minutes. That's also very important. Okay, now let's move on to the questions. So now the other most important thing, they can ask questions related to the calculation chemical equation. I'll come to that later. Now this part enough, the first part. Anyone still copy it? Shall I erase? Now if you want to find number of sodium ions, 1 into Avogadro constant. Number of chloride ions, 1 into Avogadro constant. I'll give one more example. Wait. Now if I give here 5 moles, what change should I do? What change should be done? If I give here 5 moles of NaCl, 5 moles of NaCl, how many Na plus ions? How many sodium ions? Sodium ions will be, right, 5 mole, right? Okay, wait, I'll make one small change. If I make it magnesium chloride 5 moles, magnesium chloride 5 moles, how many moles of magnesium here? 5 moles of Mg2 plus. Chloride ion, how many moles? So you can give me the answer. If I get 5 moles of magnesium chloride ions, how many moles? Chloride ions. Yes, any volunteers? Equals
10.
Any other volunteers? Masha?
5 moles.
5 moles. 5 moles of Cl2. 1 and 1, sorry, not Cl, MgCl2. 5 moles of MgCl2. How many chloride ions? Vihanga?
10 moles.
Very good. 10 moles. 10 moles because 5 into 2. Look at here. 5 times 2 here. Then you get 10 moles of chloride. 10 moles of chloride. Cl minus ion. Not chloride atoms. Chlorine atoms. No chlorine atoms in magnesium chloride. That's very important. Okay. So that is in case of MgCl. I'll tell one more example. 5 moles of water. Look at the screen. 5 moles of water. How many atomic moles of hydrogen? Who can tell me the answer? 5 moles of H2O. How many moles of hydrogen? Sitlini? Ishan?
10 moles.
10 moles.
Very good. 10 moles. 10 moles. 5 moles of H2O, 10 moles of hydrogen. Very good. Now, if you are given 5 moles of water, 5 moles of H2O, how many hydrogen atoms? No need to get the final answer. No need to simplify. Just tell me the method, technique, this into this. 5 moles of water, how many hydrogen atoms? 5 moles of water, how many hydrogen atoms? Any volunteers? 5 moles of H2O, how many hydrogen atoms? H atoms. Raise the hand if you know the answer. Ishan?
10 into Avogadro constant.
Very good. 10 into Avogadro constant. How many total atoms in 5 moles of H2O? Total. How many total atoms in 5 moles of H2O? 5 moles of H2O, how many total atoms? That is the most difficult question they could ask in the exam. 5 moles of water, how many total atoms? Okay, I'll ask the answer from Vihanga.
15 into Avogadro.
15 into Avogadro constant.
Vilana?
15 into Avogadro constant.
Very good, excellent. Now you got it. 15 into Avogadro, because total atomic moles you get 10 plus 5, 15. If you ask to find total atoms, 15 into Avogadro constant. Now the only thing, they could change the molecule in the exam, but the same method, very easy. Now sometimes, now here I give directly moles, but in the exam sometimes they can give, instead of moles, they will, to make it bit more complex, or to make it more lengthy, they can give the mass of water. So example, 90 grams of water, 90 grams H2O, how many total atoms? Then some students get confused, they don't know what to do. 90 grams of water, they will give water equal 18. 90 grams of water, how many atoms? So first you should convert 90 grams of water into moles. How? Divided by 18. Divide by 18. What is the first equation? Look at the first equation. How you have to convert mass into moles. If they give 90 grams of water, first you have to convert that into the number of moles of water. 90 grams of water, you have to convert into number of moles. 90 divided by 18, you get how many moles? 5 moles here. So instead of giving 5 moles, sometime in the exam they will give 90 grams of water, then or any other amount, maybe 100 grams of water even. Then you should convert grams into moles, then moles into atomic moles, and atomic moles into atoms. That's it. But if you want to find the number of water molecules, then you can directly write 5 into Avogadro constant. Number of water molecules 5 into Avogadro constant. But number of H atoms 10 into Avogadro constant. Number of oxygen atom 5 into Avogadro constant. Total atoms 50. Write all three. Everyone, can you copy down this? Then it's complete. I think, and the only thing in the exam they can change the molecule. Okay, write everyone 90 grams of water, 5 moles. How did you find? Using the first equation, 90 over 18. 5 moles of water has what? 10 moles of H and 5 moles of oxygen atom. Total you can write how many total? Total 15. 15. So total atoms will be 15 into Avogadro constant. H atoms will be 10 into Avogadro constant. O atoms will be 5 into Avogadro constant. Total 15 moles here. If you ask to find the water molecules, then it will be 5 into Avogadro constant. Number of water molecules will be 5 into Avogadro constant. So what are the 4 types of questions? You can, my advice, now you make the questions, right? You make the questions from this. You make the questions from this. Then you can make 5 different types of questions from this. For altogether 4 different types of questions from this information, right? So initial one you can write. Okay, those who finding this difficult, I will write. If you are given this bit of information, you can get what? 5 moles of water, number of water molecules, number of H2O molecules, what? 5 into Avogadro constant, number of H2O molecules. That is the first question they could ask. Write it everyone, number of H2O molecules. How many? 5 into Avogadro constant. Actually, Avogadro constant, the unit will be what? Per mole. What is the unit of Avogadro constant if you get MCQ in the oral paper? 5 into 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 per mole. Per mole. I don't simplify if you want. And the other thing, when you simplify this, don't multiply this 10 to the power 23 by 5. Just 30 into 5 times 6, 30. So 30.011. So it's 30.011. 30.11 into Avogadro constant of what? Water molecules. 10 to the power 23, no change. This much of H2O molecules. What is the second question they could ask from this? Now we got what? 5 moles of water. You can find the number of water molecules. If you ask to find number of H atoms, that is the second question they can ask from this. If you are given 90 grams of water or 5 moles of water, they can ask number of H atoms. How to find H atoms? Number of H atoms. That is 10 moles into Avogadro constant. Mole per mole get cancelled here. This is also very interesting. If your method is correct, you will get the correct unit for the final answer. If your method is correct, you will get the correct unit for the final answer. Look at the screen everyone. Mole per mole get cancelled. This is the final answer. So that is H2O molecules. H2O molecules here, right? Not atoms. H2O molecules. That is the answer. Then next one. Next question I ask, number of 10 moles into what? 6.022 into 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 per mole. 10 to the power 23 per mole. Then mole per mole get cancelled. Mole per mole get cancelled. Then you get the answer 60 into, but in scientific notation you can write it 10 to the power 24 if you want. 60.22 into 10 to the power 23, not molecules, hydrogen atoms. Hydrogen atoms. H atoms. Mole per mole get cancelled. But if you want, you can write this way also. 6 point, if you want, you can shift the decimal point to this side and 6.022, then this become 10 to the power 23 become 10 to the power 24. 10 to the power 23 become 10 to the power 24. This is also correct. If you want to, because in scientific notation, you can have only one digit to the left side of the decimal place. Even, okay, say velocity of light, we write in scientific notation, what? 3 into 10 to the power 8. But if you want, you can make it 30 into 10 to the power 7, no problem. No problem. If you want to get right here, 300 into 10 to the power 6. This you also can write velocity of light. Velocity of light 3 into 10 to the power 8 meters per second. But you can write this 30 into 10 to the power 7. Or you can make it 3000 into 10 to the power 5. But the correct method of writing it is not the answer, same answer, but the correct method is what you can have only one digit to the left side of the decimal place here. 60.2 also they will give the accept the answer, they will not put wrong. Now that is how many atoms, that is how you find the number of atoms. So what is the third question they can ask if they give number of moles of water? Any number of moles, 5 moles of water, or 10 moles of water, or 100 moles of water, they can ask number of water molecules. Second one, number of H atoms. Then next one, number of O atoms, number of oxygen atoms. Number of oxygen atoms will be what? Look at here, 5 moles of water has oxygen, or atomic moles also will be 5. Then you write 5 moles into Avogadro constant. 5 mole into Avogadro constant. Avogadro constant, what is the unit? Per mole. Per mole and mole cancel. Then final answer, no units, because it's just a number of oxygen atoms. Then you get 30.11 into Avogadro constant. What is this answer? Number of oxygen atoms. What is this answer? Number of oxygen atoms. O atoms. Now next one, number 4, the last question they could ask from this. Total number of atoms. Total number of atoms. How to find the total number of atoms here? Total atomic moles into Avogadro constant. Total atoms means what? Total atoms in 5 moles of water. Total atoms will be 5 into Avogadro constant. 5 moles into Avogadro constant. Not 5 moles, sorry, 15 moles. There are total 15 here. Total you get 15 moles of atoms. 15 moles of atoms here. I'll highlight this, 15 moles of atoms. Look at here, 15 moles of atoms here. 15 moles. Therefore, I should write here what? 15 mole into Avogadro constant. So that you can simplify this thing. So this is what they could ask if you are given mass of any compound or substance, or mass of any molecule, or moles of any molecule. They can ask these steps, the questions of these types. These 4 types of questions they can ask depending on the molecule given. I hope you understood very well this. And chemical calculation actually is very easy. Nothing much to memorize, only the method, because they can change the molecule and the mass in the exam. They can change only the amount of grams and the molecule. The same method here. Instead of water, you can put here 5 moles of ammonia. Then what? They can ask number of nitrogen atoms. 5 moles of ammonia. Total atoms, then what? How many? 4 into Avogadro constant. If you want to find the total atoms, total number of atoms in 5 moles of ammonia, then what? Total you get 5 times 3, 15 ammonia. 5 times 3, 15. Then 20 into Avogadro constant. Is that clear? If you get 5 moles of ammonia, total atoms will be what? 5 times 3. Hydrogen will be 15 moles. Now here H will be 15 moles. 15 atomic moles. 5 times 3, 15. Nitrogen, how many moles? 5 moles. Nitrogen will be 5 moles. Total moles will be 5 plus 15. 20 moles. Then what is the total number of atoms? 20 into Avogadro constant. So total you get 5 plus 15, 20 moles. 20 atomic moles. 5 moles of ammonia has 20 atomic moles. Then how to find the total atoms? 20 into Avogadro constant. So now I explained all the possible types of questions they could ask in the exam. Otherwise they will not ask what is known as RAM, what is known as molar mass, what is mass number. That's what you are copying down in in your class, or maybe in your mostly you copy down this note in your writing book. You can check your writing book. Definition of RAM, definition of atomic mass unit, equation, and you memorize this. But that is not what they ask in the exam. You will under new syllabus papers, you won't get such baby questions. Write an essay about relative atomic mass. What is known as mass number? You don't get such baby questions under new syllabus. That's why the last year oral paper also, out of the 6 main subjects, hardest paper was science. Because now they ask applications from this, rather than just recalling the previous memory. Right. Shall I read the screen? Anyone still copying down? Please raise the hand those who are still copying down this. Or shall I erase this? Done. Okay. Now let's move on to the questions in the paper. Right. I gave a detailed explanation about this lesson. Any volunteers? Question number 47, the answer. So that is to get the relative molecular mass. Relative molecular mass has no units. Just to get the total. Urea. What is the chemical formula of urea? CONH2 twice. CONH2 twice. Yes, I'll ask the answer from Imasha. Sitlini.
First answer.
First answer. Yeah. Correct. Very good. Very good. Answer is first one, 60. Let's see how come 60. Carbon 12. Look at the this within bracket. Within bracket, you are given the RAM of each element. Carbon 12 plus oxygen, you get 16 plus why plus? When there's two different elements, you have to put the plus sign. Some Mr. Madam, they put 12 into 60. Then you get a huge number. Don't ever put multiplication. So this is addition. When there are two elements, you have to put plus sign in between. But the next one is now within bracket. First you should get the total inside the bracket. What is the total inside the bracket? 14 plus 2. What is the total inside the bracket? It's 16. 16 times 2. 16 times 2 is what? 32 plus 6. Those who are not done, I am because not only for the students, those who are given straight away the correct answer. So everyone is important for me. Those who are struggling to get this also, I am telling. That's why I am writing this much. Even a very weak students will get it. So what is the total now? You get 60. Do I need to write any units for this? No need. Why? Relative means no units. Relative density, relative atomic mass, relative molecular mass, no units. If you want, you can write one more thing. Urea is the main nitrogenous excretory product of man. Urea is the main nitrogen containing excretory product. Why? Urea is formed from protein. Okay, so your protein that you eat become amino acid. Protein contain what? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. 4 elements. So when protein digested, it become amino acid. I put AA, amino acid. Amino acid also contain, that is the building block of protein, that also contain CHON. CHON means carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. Therefore, this is converted into urea by the liver. Who synthesize urea? By your liver. So then this liver convert amino acids into urea, and this urea goes to your kidney. Urea expelled by your kidney by the filtration of blood, excess by the kidney, it's filtered with your urine. So therefore your urine, the main nitrogenous excretory product of your urine will be urea. Your urine contain urea. Is that clear? Urine contain urea. So urine main component water. So these two organs bit important. You better copy down this because I am relating the other lessons also. Because in your oral paper you get 5 essays. But how many lessons? Both 10 and 11, 35 lessons. They can't make 30 essays or 35 essays. Maximum 5 essays. So they test the maximum possible from these 5 essays. Therefore, one essay type question, they can combine more than one lesson. Or one structured essay, there can be more than one lesson in it. Therefore, you have to recall all these 35 lessons within 3 hours and 10 minutes. 10 minutes additional reading time. Select the questions out of 5 essays. You have to select category. Anyway, you know, I think most probably we are planning to continue this until you all level this somehow this seminar series conducted by the Zonal Education Office, and then we are planning to discuss some model papers and support seminar papers also. First, we'll do a good revision of this 10 and 11 syllabus, right, before we go for the support seminars and phosphate questions. Now, so this is how you get urea, and in the exam they can ask chemical calculation, right? Chemical calculation. How many moles of hydrogen in 1 mole of urea? How many moles, atomic moles of hydrogen in 1 moles of urea? Any volunteers? 1 mole of urea, how many atomic moles of hydrogen? Raise the hand, those who are done. Those who can get. No need to write, just look at the formula and tell me. Yes, Iklash, what is the answer?
4 moles.
Very good, 4 moles. 2 into 2, 4 moles. Hydrogen atoms in 1 mole of urea, 4 into Avogadro constant. 4 into Avogadro constant. So this 60 is not mole, no? Right. I hope you can see the screen again. Sorry about that. It's small network failure. And right. So I was talking about this urea, protein digested to amino acid, and amino acid absorbed to your blood. Excess amino acid broken down in the liver. Excess amino acid in your blood broken down in the liver to produce urea. So urea synthesized by the liver. Liver, write it. Liver makes urea. Liver makes urea. That is the largest internal organ of your body. Liver makes urea. Kidney excrete urea. Excretory organ will be kidney. This is very important. Many MCQs they ask this. Kidney excrete that. Excretory organ will be kidney. Kidney excretes urea with urine. So urea is the main nitrogenous excretory product of man. Right. Then let's move to the next question. Question number 48. Relative molecular mass of the compound MH4. Now you are given the total. You are given the total MH4, the total 16. So you want to find the unknown one, M, the hypothetical element. H is 1:4, 4. So 4 plus what is 16? That's what they ask here. 4 plus what is 16? Not 14, no? 4. Any volunteers? What is the RAM of capital M? 4 plus what is 16? Very easy. Anutmi?
12.
12. Very good. Anutmi. Answer is 12. Correct. Correct. 12 plus 4 will be 16. Now dear student, now you are this generation, so this 2021, 2020, 2022 all level batch, even 2023, so this is a very crucial time for you all, right? So with academically and financially and economically, so not only for you, even especially your parents. Therefore now your responsibility, get the extraordinary results from the limited resources you have now. Then you are talented. That is your talent, your commitment, your dedication. So rather than just giving a bar, no school, can't go tuition, no like no electricity and no transport, like that, you are just weeping. And then at the end, what happened after 10-15 years when you start working or when you go to the society, they will forget about this crisis and all. Now you are 1989 during the war time. So now the people are talking. So no one is asking the results. So you did all level in during wartime. You did all level in this 89, like this. Again, there was a similar situation like this in 1989 in Sri Lanka. So no one is asking. Therefore, they will not excuse your results because of those things in the future. The people will forget these things. At the end, if you are going for an interview or higher studies, they will measure you at the same level as the others. Therefore, so far they haven't reduced the content of the syllabus. Last 3 years, O-level paper, A-level paper, any national exam, they have not reduced the content of the syllabus, especially O-level and A-level. And the paper standard also same. Content of the syllabus also they didn't reduce. Therefore, you have to be well prepared. Even though exam is postponed, get that also as a benefit. You do a very good revision and try to improve your results, because you can't repeat O-level again. So once you get 9 days or 8 days, so that's it for lifetime. Now, question number 49. I'll erase the screen. Answer is 12, right? 49. Which of the following represent quantities? Molecular mass, or so we call it molecular mass, so molar mass, so same. Then moles and the mass, the standard symbol. So forget about the answers. So we'll write the standard symbol, capital M, then simple N and simple M. So the answer will be yes. Answer will be, I'll mark the answer. It's easy. Question number 49, answer will be second, right? Second. Question number 50. The relationship between these three. I told you how to find the statement represents the number of moles. Number of moles you can calculate what? Simple M divided by capital M. So the answer will be first one. First one. Question number 51. That is a good question. Then now you have to use what I explained before. You have to use that knowledge. Number of molecules. So number of molecules, before you find the number of molecules, what? You need the number of moles. Number of CO2 molecules. Before you find number of CO2 molecules, you need the number of moles of CO2. Number of moles of CO2. Number of CO2 molecules. How to find? First we will find the number of moles of CO2. Moles of, I put here simple N for moles, CO2. How to find? 11 grams divided by molar mass of CO2, right here within bracket. Normally it's given in the exam. Carbon equal 12, oxygen equal 16, then you get the total 44. What is the total here? 44. So the total you get CO2 44 grams per mole. If possible, write the units also. My advice now, you better write the equation expression also. Sometimes they allocate 1 marks for this equation. Moles equal simple M over capital M. For this equation also they allocate marks. Then you get the answer. Gram get cancelled. Gram get cancelled. Gram get cancelled. Then you get per mole become mole. So what is the final answer? You get the final answer. 11 times 1, 11 times 1, 11 times 4. 1 over 4 moles. What is? 1 over 4 moles. 11 times 1, 11 times 4. 1 over 4 means what? 0.25 moles. 0.25 moles. Now 0.25 moles of CO2. Now you can use that value here. You can use that here and write number of CO2 molecules equal moles into Avogadro constant. What moles? CO2 moles. Not oxygen moles, not carbon moles. CO2 moles into Avogadro constant. CO2 molecules. CO2 moles into Avogadro constant. CO2 molecules, not CO2 atoms, or not carbon atom, not oxygen atoms. So then you get here 1 over 4, or you can write 0.25 moles into Avogadro constant. So when you simplify, what is the answer? If you only write here 1 over 4, no problem. When you multiply 0.25 into 6.022, what is the approximately the answer? Here only one decimal place here. You make it 1.5 only. Yes, any volunteers who can give me the answer, the final answer? What is the final answer you got? Any volunteers? What is the final answer you got? Yes, I'll ask the answer from Anutmi. Say most of the times the other students also make an effort, because it's very good. Savani, Sandali.
1.
Mihila, Masha.
Second one.
Second answer.
Yeah, very good. Okay, very good. Correct. Answer is second. Very good. 1.5 into 10 to the power 23. Because when you simplify, you get the final answer 1.5 into Avogadro constant approximately. 1.5 into Avogadro constant. right? Very good. Then question number 52. I'll erase the screen. 52. The molecular formula of water is H2O. If you want, you can refer the note. The initial I give a summary of the theory note. H2O 18 grams given. How many? The question is this: how many atoms? That means that number of atoms is, are they asking oxygen atoms? Are they asking hydrogen or no? Number of atoms is, it refers to the total atoms. Total atoms. What is the first step? First you have to convert grams into moles. 18 grams of water should be converted into moles. How to convert mass into moles? The equation simple M divided by capital M. 18 grams, what is the molar mass of water? 18. You get the molar mass of water 18. 18 grams divided by 18 grams per mole. Then gram get cancel, and you get one more. Gram get, you get one more. Right. Then second step, you can find number of atomic moles. So number of 1 mole of water has how many moles of atoms? 1 mole of H2 has total atomic moles, 3 atomic moles, 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. You get the okay, so I'll quickly write it again. Now you got 1 mole of water, 18 grams means 1 mole of water. Then you get 18 grams means water, 18 grams means 1 mole of water. You know how to do it. 1 mole of H2O. 1 mole of H2O has what? 3 moles of atoms. 3 moles of atoms. 3 moles atoms. Then you can find number of atoms equal 3 moles into Avogadro constant. Number of atoms equal 3 moles into Avogadro constant. 6.022 into 10 to the power 23. 10 to the power 23. Then you get the answer. 3 times 6, Look at the screen. So the answer will be 3 into Avogadro constant. Answer will be 3 into Avogadro constant. 3 into Avogadro constant. Is that clear? Question number 53. Question number 53. Relative atomic mass of sodium is 23. The number of atoms in 46 grams of sodium. Now, sodium is not a molecule. Directly you can get atoms. So how to convert? First you can find the number of moles of sodium. 46 grams divided by 23. Any volunteers who has done it? Anyone who got the answer? 23 grams of mole. How many moles you are in? 2 moles. 2 moles. But they have not simplified. Look at the answers they have given. Okay, I'll ask the answer from Sitlini, Anutmi, Sandali. Very good. Answer is fourth. How come fourth? Number of atoms equal moles into Avogadro constant. So no need to simplify there because they are given 46 over 23 in this form. They have given this in this form, 46 over 23 like this into Avogadro constant. So they are basically number of sodium atoms equal number of Na sodium atoms equal sodium atomic moles into Avogadro constant. Then you get the answer. So this is 46 over 23. Number of moles will be 46 divided by 23 into Avogadro constant. So the answer will be fourth. Those who got the fourth answer, very good before me. Question number 54. I'll erase the screen. 54. Number of moles in 180 grams of glucose. G should be simple here. So what is the basic equation? I will move fast. Equal. What is the molar mass of glucose? When you get the total, you get here 180 grams of mole. You will get the total 180 grams of mole. 180 grams of mole. So number of moles equal 180 grams divided by 180, because the mass also 180, the molar mass also 180. Gram get cancelled, then you get just 1 mole. 1 mole. Actually, what is the meaning of 180 grams per mole? 180 grams per mole means 180 grams equal to 1 mole. If you get 360, it will be 2 moles. If you get 360 grams, it will be 2 moles. That's what it means. Now, you can, the rounded values you can get this way also. Molar mass 180 grams per mole means 180 grams equal 1 mole. 360, if you get 1800 grams, then it will be 10 moles. 1800 will be 10 moles. 10 moles. Okay. So its answer is 1 mole. Answer is second. Question number 55. I'll erase the screen. 55. Bonds formed between. Okay. Bonds between atoms are formed. Okay. Which subatomic particle involved in the formation of bonds? Are they electrons, protons, or neutrons? That's what they ask. Any volunteers? Vilana, Sitleni, Imasha?
Electron.
Second answer.
Very good. Answer is second, between electrons. Please write, everyone. Valence electrons are involved in the bond formation. Which electrons? Electrons in the outermost shell. So electrons in the outermost shell are called what electrons? Valence electrons. Electrons in the outermost shell called what electrons? Valence electrons involved in the formation of bonds. Valence electrons involved in the formation of bonds. Okay. Inner electrons do not participate in the bond formation. Inner electrons do not participate in the bond formation. That's also very important to understand. And even electrical conductivity, which electrons involve? Valence electrons involved in the electrical conductivity as well. That means outermost shell electrons. Right, then I'll erase the screen. Question number 56. Who can give me the answer to the MCQ? Not a characteristic of isotope. Answer is? Any volunteers? Anutmi? Priyanka?
Second
Any?
one.
Second one.
Very good. Answer is second. Mass numbers are equal. That is wrong. Right. Then next one. Question number 57. Which one has the most number of shells contained in the electron? Out of these four. You should better write the number of electrons and then write the configuration. That's the best way to do it. Okay, any volunteers? Who can give me the answer for the question number 57? Sitlini?
Third one.
Masha? Vihenga? Ishan?
First one.
Fourth one.
Fourth one. What about the others?
Fourth one.
Fourth one. Okay, let's see. Okay, good. Answer is fourth. Very good. Let's see how come fourth. Look at the screen, everyone. The best thing, you should know the atomic number of each and then write the configuration. I'll tell this step by step. Atomic number is 13, but electrons will be 10. Why? Because it's 3 plus, not 13. So configuration will be how many shells are there? 2, 8. Only 2 shells. Only 2 shells. Look at here, beryllium. Beryllium atomic number is 4. But here 2 plus, therefore only 2 electrons. So this configuration is just 2. Then nitrogen. Look at nitrogen atomic number is 7. If you don't know the atomic number, that is the end of this question. But not 7 electrons. 7 become how many electrons? 10 electrons because of 3 minus. 3 minus means 10 electrons added. 10 electrons added. Then you get 2, 8. 10 electrons in 2, 8. Here 2, 8. Here just 2. So only 1 shell. Here 2 shells. Last one, everyone. Last one, atomic number 16. What is the atomic number here? 16. Atomic number of sulfur 16. Sulfur is the 16th element. 16th element. So how many electrons are there in it? 18 electrons. It has 18 electrons. Therefore, the configuration will be, because why to 18? Why 16 become 18? Because of 2 minus. Why 16 become 18? Because of 2 minus. Because of 2 minus. Therefore, it become 2, 8, 8. He is the one which contain maximum number of shells. Right. He is the one which contain maximum number of. Right. Then next one. Next one. Shall I raise the screen? Anyone else? Okay, right. Question number 58. How many moles are there? It's very easy. How to find the number of moles? How you should do it. Number of moles equal 4 grams divided by molar mass. What is the molar mass? Sodium hydroxide, total you get 40. 40 grams per mole. 40 grams per mole. Therefore, you have to divide this by 40. Gram get cancel. Gram get cancel. Gram cancel. Then you get 1 over 10. 4 divided by 40 means 1 over 10. 1 over 10 moles. 1 over 10 moles means what? How many moles? 0.1 mole. 0.1 mole. Is that clear? Right. Okay. Next one. Answer is 0.1 mole. When you simplify, the answer is first one. Very good. Those who have got the answer, those who raise the hand, very good. Excellent. Next question. I'll erase the screen. Question number 59. Molecular formula of glucose is given. Mass of 1 mole of glucose. 1 mole of glucose is what? 180 grams, because molar mass of glucose will be 180 grams per mole. What is the molar mass of glucose? 180 grams per mole. If you get total glucose 180 grams, therefore 180 grams per mole means 1 mole equal 180 grams. 1 mole equal 180 grams. So the answer is first one. Answer is first one. Question number 60. Central atom that has not obtained a complete outer shell. This is a very good question. Question number 60 is little difficult. Any volunteers? Can give the answers in MCQ? Yes? Any volunteers? 260th MCQ the answer? Sadali?
Third one.
Masha?
First one.
Sitlini?
Third one.
Third one.
Yeah, very good, excellent. Answer is 3, very good. Beryllium chloride. Remember group 2. Group 2 and group 3 elements form compounds with incomplete octet. Has not complete outer shell means what? What is the single term used for this? Incomplete octet. Has not obtained complete outer shell means incomplete octet. That means outermost shell of the valence shell is not filled with noble gas configuration, or not filled with maximum number of electrons. We call it, the other term we use for this is incomplete octet. Octet means 8 electrons. Incomplete octet. So beryllium chloride is a molecule with incomplete octet. How many electrons are around beryllium here? Only 4. Beryllium chloride, only 4 electrons. Beryllium valency 2, outermost 2 electrons, maximum 2 bonds. Therefore, maximum 4 electrons is less. But water, it has 8 electrons by 2 bonds and 2 lone pairs. Look at here, 2 bonds, 2 bonding pairs and 2 lone pairs. Total 8. Oxygen, there are 8 electrons at the central atom. Central atom of oxygen 8. But this one, beryllium, only 4 electrons around the central atom. Beryllium only 4 electrons. Why 2 bonds? Only 2 electrons. 4 electrons altogether. 4 electrons. Right. Then if you take ammonia, let's see ammonia whether it's filled with 8. Ammonia NH3. This is the Lewis structure of ammonia. 3 NH bonds. And nitrogen, there are 5 electrons. Out of 5, only 3 participated in the bond formation. The other 2 left as lone pair. This is the Lewis structure of ammonia. So around nitrogen, how many? Around central atom, 3 bonds and 1 lone pair. Total pairs 4. There will be 8 electrons. We call it octet. This is called octet. Octet is completed. Yeah, no, it has reached noble gas configuration. Octet is completed. Outermost shell is full. Therefore, the molecule is stable. But this one is lacking 8. Less than 8. Less than 8. Therefore, we call it incomplete octet. Less than 8. If it is more than 8, expanded octet. 8 is octet. Less than 8, incomplete octet. More than 8, expanded octet. Okay, let's see CH4. Carbon, there are 4 CH bonds. Each bond how many electron? 2 electron. Each bond 2 electron. 2 into 4, there will be 8 electrons total. There will be 8 electrons total. So total will be 8 electrons. That is called octet. So all the others octet except central atom. This is a very good question. In Lewis structures, basically, Basically, in Lewis structures, central atom has to reach octet. Otherwise, that molecule is bit unstable. Right. Next one. Okay, shall I raise the screen? Anyone still copy down? Done? Anyone still copy down? Please raise the hand. Right. Okay. So we now not the answer for this question. I want now if you're given a molecule, quickly draw the structure and put the lone pairs and check whether there are 8 electrons or less than 8 or more than 8. So more than 8. Okay, I'll give one example. Expanded octet. One of the best example, PCl5. 5 bonds means what? 5 bonds means 10 electrons. PCl5, phosphorus pentachloride. How many bonds are there? 5 bonds. 5 bonds means what? All 5 electrons. Phosphorus configuration 285. Outermost shell 5. Valency 5. Group 5. All 5 electrons bonded. All 5 electrons form 5 bonds. 5 bonds. Therefore, valency 5. 5 bonds means combined power is 5. Valency also 5. Group also 5. Outermost also 5. The maximum valency of phosphorus will be 5. When all 5 bonds participated in the bond formation or form covalent bonds in the valence shell, now 5 become 10. 5 become 10. So the central atom of phosphorus has how many electrons? 10 electrons. What is this called? Expanded octet. More than 8 electrons. Please note down this, everyone. More than 8 electrons means expanded octet. More than 8 means more than 8 electrons. More than 8 electrons. What is the single term used for this? Expanded octet. This is given in grade 10 textbook chapter 10. Expanded octet. Therefore, most of the third period elements can form molecules with more than 8 electrons in the valence shell. Right. Let's move on to question number 61. I can be deleted because this is important. Right. Question number 61. 61. Any volunteers? A color change. In which of these color change would occur? Please raise the hand those who can give me the answer. Any volunteers? Question number 60, the answer. 61. 61. Okay, I'll ask the answer from Vihanga. Vihanga Ranmini.
Third one.
Can you repeat again? I couldn't follow.
Third one.
Third one. Okay, third one. Third one, there will be a color change. Any other volunteer, any other answer other than third answer? Any other answers? Anyone else? Shashika Lakman?
First one.
Sitlini?
Second one.
Correct, Sitlini. Answer is second. Answer is second. Very good. Answer is second. Please write everyone. Color change will be hydrated copper sulfate is white. This is what you use in the laboratory. The white color, sorry, not white, blue. Blue colored crystals. Hydrated copper sulfate is blue. On heating, it will turn to white. On heating, it will turn into white. Hydrated copper sulfate is blue. On heating, it will turn into white. So there will be a color change. Actually, it's a reversible reaction. So white become blue when it's exposed to air. So what is this called? Anhydrous copper sulfate. This is what we use to identify water in the laboratory. Please write it, everyone. Anhydrous. Sometimes we call it dehydrated. Anhydrous copper sulfate. Anhydrous copper sulfate is white. That means free of water. No moisture in it. Or you can write dehydrated copper sulfate. What is this called? Dehydrated copper sulfate. Dehydrated copper sulfate. So dehydrated copper sulfate will be white. Then what is the other one? The other side you have hydrated copper sulfate. What is it? Hydrated copper sulfate. Hydrated copper sulfate will be blue. So please write anhydrous copper sulfate, dehydrated copper sulfate is white, and it is used to identify what in the laboratory. None of the others are colored. Remember group 1 and group 2 metals. Sodium group 1, calcium group 2, sodium group 1. Group 1 and group 2 metals. Group 1 and group 2 metals do not form colored compounds. Please write it. That's a short method. Any compound of sodium, sodium chloride, sodium bromide, sodium carbonate, sodium nitrate, sodium sulfate, sodium carbonate, sodium bicarbonate, group 1 and group 2, they will never form colored compounds. Group, say calcium carbonate, calcium chloride, calcium sulfate, calcium oxide, calcium hydroxide, group 1 and group 2 metals do not form colored compounds. Please note down this. Do not form colored compounds. Do not form colored compounds. Group 1 and group 2 metals do not form colored compounds. So why copper sulfate is colored? Not due to sulfate, that is due to copper. Copper compounds are colored. Copper compounds are colored when it's associated with water. Complex. So you learn, if you are doing A level, you will learn in detail, right? The answer is second. Question number 62, that is from grade 10, the last few lessons. 62. Any volunteers? That's a type of reaction. Without looking at the answers, just write in front of each equation in front of ABC. What is the type of reaction? Then check the answer. Any volunteers? Question number 62, the answer. Hurry up. Sitlini, Anutmi, Vilana.
Fourth one.
Fourth one.
Correct. Very good. Answer is for decomposition. Second one combination. Last one single displacement. Please write this first reaction. It's limestone become quicklime. What is the chemical formula of calcium carbonate? That is CaCO3, and it's called limestone. This is limestone. This is limestone, and this is quicklime. This is called quicklime. So now this is an endothermic reaction. According to grade 10 chemistry, this is a decomposition reaction, as well as according to grade 11 chemistry, heat is absorbed during this reaction. Therefore, please write this reaction is, they can ask this in the oral paper, that's why I'm telling this. This is a decomposition reaction as well as an endothermic reaction. An endothermic reaction. Endothermic reaction. This is a decomposition reaction as well as endothermic reaction. Therefore, a given reaction can be classified under more than one type. This is one example. What is endothermic? Heat is absorbed. What is exothermic? Heat is released. Any combustion reaction, combustion of petrol, diesel, even cellular respiration, exothermic. What is the opposite of endothermic? Exothermic. Exo means what? Out. Thermal means heat. If heat is released to the surroundings, it's called exothermic. Question number 63, any volunteers? So it's very easy. Urea again given number of carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. Yeah. So you have to get them respectively. Carbon atoms how many? 1. Oxygen atoms how many? 1. Okay, any volunteers? I'll ask the answer from Anutmi. Third one. Yeah. Nitrogen 2, hydrogen 4. So the answer will be third. Very good. Very good, Anutmi. Answer is 3. Okay, those who are done, you can mark with a red pen. Question number 64. SI unit of measuring the amount of substance in chemistry. Any volunteers? Actually, it should be simple. The unit is MOL. Anutmi, yes. Chitleni?
First one.
Very good. Answer is first one. Very good. Question number 64. Answer is first. Okay, last 10 minutes. We will move fast. Question number 65. Ionic and covalent compound respectively. First you should get ionic, then you should get covalent. Yes, any volunteers? What is the answer? Who can give me the answer for the question number 65? Lenny?
Second one.
Second one. Very good. Sodium chloride is ionic and glucose is covalent. Answer is second. Why can't we take the first answer? Both are ionic. Copper sulfate. If the how to find check whether it's an ionic or covalent easily? A metal present. Most of the covalent compound a metal present. A metal present. If there's a metal in it, definitely it's an ionic compound under O level. There are some exceptions. So only non-metals mostly covalent. Only non-metals, metal and non-metal both ionic. Only non-metal covalent. That's how you can easily remember this. So example urea. Urea only non-metals. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, they are both covalent, right? Urea and ammonia both covalent. Ammonia NH3. Urea CONH2 twice. All are non-metals. Urea on all is carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, hydrogen. They are all non-metals. Therefore, urea is covalent. And the other one, glucose and urea. Again, both are covalent. Answer is second. Question number 66. You are given balanced chemical equation for the burning of magnesium or reaction of oxygen with magnesium. What is the most correct answer? Number of atoms of reactant equal to the number of atoms of products. 2 atomic moles of magnesium, 2 atomic moles of magnesium react with 1 atomic mole of oxygen. Wrong. Molecular mole of reactant equal to molecular mole of products. Yeah, what is the most correct answer? Question number 66. That's a good question. Yes, any volunteers? Raise the hand if you those who have got the answer. Yes, Citlini?
Fourth one.
Actually, molecular mole of reactant not equal, because here you get actually magnesium oxide is not a molecule. That's the problem here. Magnesium oxide is not a molecule. And this question, there's a drawback of this question, because magnesium oxide is an atomic ionic compound and magnesium is a metal. Atoms you can take, but number of atoms of reactant equal to the atoms of products. Actually, you have to get here. Here you get number of atoms also will not be equal. No, here you get 2 atoms. Here you get 2 atoms. Here you get 2 atoms altogether, not equal. 4 and 2. So this question we will skip, because there's no definite answer for this. So this one will skip. There's no answer for this, right? Because there's a drawback, because I told magnesium oxide is not a molecule. Therefore, it's an ionic compound. That's why we can't. This question is wrong, right? Okay, we'll skip this one. Question number 67. Atomic number 14. Atomic number 14. Configuration 284. Configuration 284. Actually, that is a silicon. Atomic number 14 silicon. No other element has atomic number 14 other than silicon. So then you get what? Group 4 because outermost 4. Group 4 because outermost 4. Group 4 and period 3. Answer is group 4 period 3. Group 4 period 3. Answer is third, right? Answer is 3. Group 4 period 3. There are 3 energy levels. Question number 68. 68. The correct balance equation when burning when magnesium oxide is magnesium in air. Remember, before balancing, you have to check whether the formula is wrong. The formula is correct. Right? Here, calcium oxide, first one is wrong because of this oxygen. It should be O2. Second one is wrong because of this calcium oxide. The formula is wrong. Balancing you can write this oxygen balance, calcium balance. Therefore, the second one is also correct. First one also correct. Balancing is balancing there, but formula wrong. Before balancing, please check whether the given formula is correct. Now why the fourth one is wrong? Because of Ca2. I underline why it is wrong. Calcium will never become diatomic. Calcium oxide, this is wrong. oxygen, you can write this for this. That's why the first one is wrong. Understood? So write, underline. What is wrong? Because the wrong formula. So before balancing, you have to write the correct formula of oxygen O2. Calcium oxide, the correct formula CaO. So the question number 68, answer is 3. Please raise the hand those who got the third answer for the 68 MCQ. Before I mark the answer, those who got this answer, please raise the hand. How many of you got? If you done it alone and got the third answer, very good. It's really good. Yes? Right, around 8 to 10 students raise the hand. Very good, excellent. Question number 69. When a bottle of soda is opened, what is the gas coming out? Very simple question. Even grade 6 students can give the answer for this. Any volunteers? Any?
Carbon dioxide.
Very good, very good. Answer is carbon dioxide gas. Soda bottle, if you want to write this equation, when you pass CO2 gas into water, this is the reaction that occurs. CO2 plus H2O. Now those who are joining today, those who got absent last week and joining today, if you have not got this paper, please send a request. I have this given the WhatsApp number also here. You can send a WhatsApp request message with your name and school. With your name and school, you have this it's displayed here, the WhatsApp number, or else you can ask from the school teacher if they are not got, if your school has not got it, please send a WhatsApp request message with your name and the grade. Name, grade and school. Name, grade and school, request in the Japura Zone chemistry paper 27294. So this one you can don't call, only WhatsApp. You can even there are 4 other lessons we have done, video lessons available. You can go to you can watch them from the channel Japura Zone YouTube channel Japura Zone. You can watch the previous ones, but to get the paper you have to send a request to this the previous 4 papers, channel Japura Zone. There are 3 papers actually. Channel Japura Zone, that is the YouTube channel. You can watch them. And papers, if you want, if you have not got the paper, the previous papers, you can send a request with your name and school. Right. Now, when you pass CO2 gas into water, what is formed? We call it carbonic acid. That's why rainwater is acidic. Rainwater is acidic. pH is less than 7 because of the formation of this. What is the name given to this acid? Carbonic acid. What is the name given to this acid? Carbonic acid. This is a weak acid. Carbonic acid. Carbonic acid. That is also some hydrogen carbon. That's why the people who are having gastritis, this is not good. Drinking soda or the fizzy drinks. So that also, this is a combination reaction. This is a combination reaction. CO2 plus H2. That is like actually CO2 gas slightly soluble in water. Question number 70. Okay. Anyone who can give me the answer? So the previous one, the answer is CO2, right? Question number 70, what is the answer? 70th MCQ. Yeah, it's the WhatsApp number. You cannot get the papers or anything you have missed. Chemical substance that can be used to prepare oxygen. To prepare oxygen. Yes. Look at this. Any volunteers who can give the answer? Not me? Very good. Answer is hydrogen peroxide. Please copy down the other chemicals that can be used to prepare oxygen other than hydrogen peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide is H2O2. Right. Write the other chemical formulas. We can use KClO3, that is called potassium chloride. Any chloride can be used. And then you can use potassium nitrate. Any nitrate except lithium nitrate. All the group 1 nitrates except lithium nitrate. If you heat, oxygen is given out as the only gas, and all these reactions, decomposition reaction. O2 is given out as the only gas from all these. And the other one, most widely used chemical in the laboratory to prepare oxygen will be potassium permanganate. What is that? Potassium permanganate. You get oxygen gas. But I didn't write the other products. You should know all these, the balanced chemical equation you should know. Permanganate. What is the natural method of producing oxygen in the laboratory? In the nature, in the global oxygen production, oxygen that you inhale now, coming from which? Not from any of these chemicals. That is by photosynthesis. What is the global oxygen production? You get it freely. That is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. And industrially, oxygen is obtained. Say COVID-19, there was a big demand for oxygen. How does that oxygen produce? That is from atmospheric air. Atmospheric air contain nearly 78% oxygen. You can get atmospheric air will be a natural resource to get oxygen gas. And the other one, water can be used to get oxygen, water, H2O. So oxygen can be obtained from water. That method is called electrolysis of water. Grade 11 electrochemistry, you will learn this in detail. So industrially we get oxygen from water and atmospheric air. Laboratory, for the practicals, we prepare oxygen from those four chemicals. Globally, oxygen is naturally produced by photosynthesis. I gave all three areas: chemical method, industrial method, and natural method. Now photosynthesis you can do artificially in the lab. Carbonates can be used to prepare what gas? Carbon dioxide gas. Any carbonate, calcium carbonate or magnesium carbonate or any other carbonate, right? Question number 71. To absorb CO2, most of the biology practicals, respiration practicals, we use this. To absorb CO2, what is used? Right, everyone, CO2 is an acidic gas. CO2 is an acidic gas. Therefore, to absorb that, we use base, acidic gas. That's why pH value of rainwater is less than 7 due to the dissolving of CO2 gas. Acidic gas, CO2. Therefore, bases or basic solutions can absorb it. Write it everyone. Basic solutions can absorb, since it is an acidic gas. Basic solutions can absorb acidic gases, not only CO2, even the other acidic gases. If the gas is acidic, the solution has to be basic. What are the bases? Any hydroxide is base. Basic acidic gases like CO2. Acidic gases like CO2. So example, right? Other examples. So what are the examples? Basic solution: sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide. They all basic solution. Calcium hydroxide, that is also called lime water. What is lime water? Calcium hydroxide. All these are basic solutions. They can absorb carbon dioxide. That's why we use mostly KOH for that respiration practical, germinating seeds or grass or frog, you respiration experiment. So they are basic. Any hydroxide is a base. They are bases. And sometimes we call them alkali. If they dissolve in water, what is the other term used for this? Alkali. Bases that dissolve in water are called alkali. That's why these metals we call alkali metals. Lithium, sodium, potassium, alkali metals. Magnesium, calcium, alkali earth metals. Alkali means the bases that dissolve in water. So the answer for this, potassium hydroxide. Not only the answer, I wanted to learn something new from each MCQ so that it will be useful for the upcoming questions. Question number 72. Oxidation. Right, it's almost 10:30, right? 72 oxidation. Explain me. 72 onwards we'll discuss the next day, because oxidation is a bit new. I have to explain. Actually, oxidation is increasing of the oxidation number, the charge increases, or in other words, loss of electron. Oxidation means losing of electrons, or losing of electrons. Losing of electrons called oxidation. Gaining of electrons called reduction. If someone loses electron, there must be someone to gain it. Electrons cannot be left behind in the atmosphere or in the nature. Losing of electrons, oxidation, or increasing of the charge from minus to 0, from 0 to plus, that is called oxidation. See example, I'll give one example. Fe2 plus become Fe3 plus, charge increase, that is called oxidation. Or I'll write Cl minus become Cl, the charge increases from minus to 0, oxidation. Or sodium lose an electron, first ionization energy of sodium get oxidized. During oxidation, electrons are lost and the charge of the ion increase. So in which one the charge increase? 0, minus to 0 or 0 to plus. So yes, answer is first one. 2 electrons lost. Therefore magnesium represents oxidation. This is reduction. Here the 0 to minus. Iron, this is also oxidation. This, because this is wrong here. It should be 2 minus here. There's a small correction here. But actually by gaining electrons, it will not become plus. A metal will never become negative charge. Write it. A metal will never become negative charge. Metals always form positively charged ions. They are called cations. Cations, positively charged ion. A metal will never become negative. A metal will never receive electrons. Metal will never receive electron. If metal receive electron, it becomes negative charge. That's good. Okay, so the answer is first one, right? I'll explain next week. Please remind me. I'll explain again oxidation a little bit in detail. Question number 73. I'll do only up to 74. Right. Which electrons, which equation balance? Then we can discuss the last 25 next week. 75 to 100. Not balance. Which ones are balanced? Calcium carbonate is already balanced. You can screen. No need to balance, is already balanced. Before you balance, see whether it's already balanced. This one is not balanced. This is balanced, right? This one is not balanced. First one is balanced. Second one not balanced because you have to put 6 CO2 and 6 H2. C balance. D is not balanced. Because formula wrong. You might ask as a balance in this one. The fourth one. The D. Formula wrong. This one right? Wrong formula. What is the correct formula of sodium sulfate? Na2SO4. Here is wrong. The formula wrong. Again I am telling, before balancing, check whether all the formulas, chemical formulas given correct, reactants and product. If at least one reactant or one product, if the formula is wrong, then no need to think about balancing. That equation is wrong. Before balancing, the formula has to be correct. Equation should be, chemical reaction has to be correct one. The answer will be A and C. Answer is second. Answer is second. So the last question is 74. After that I'll stop today and we'll continue the rest next week. 74th one. Elements, electrons that do not participate in the bond known as. Any volunteers? Last MCQ question number 74. What is the answer? 74th one. Any volunteers? Sitlini?
Lone pairs.
Sandali?
Lone pairs.
Very good, excellent. Answer will be lone pairs. So that is also called sometimes non-bonding pairs. Do not participate in the bond formation. Non-bonding pairs. Lone pairs are also called non-bonding pairs. Say example, ammonia. When you write, you put a lone pair here. Because those two electrons not participated in bond formation. Ammonia is NH3. There are 3 covalent bonds. 3 electrons used up. Out of 5, 3 electrons go for the bonds. The other 2 left as lone pair. That is the Lewis structure of ammonia. So this lone pair will be the non-bonding pair. Right. So question number 75 onwards we'll discuss next day. So we'll stop for today. If you have not done up to 100, please complete the rest, and then you can have a complete, you can check completely whether you are okay, which lessons you have gone wrong and which ones you have found difficult, and whether you are okay basically with chemistry, right? And I hope to discuss a paper physics and biology also like this. And anyway, earlier also we discussed similar questions. After that we will go for the model papers and past papers and support seminar papers in the future. I think you understood something new today, and it will be really help to improve your marks, definitely at least 5-10 marks, so to make your B to A or C to B. So gradual continuous hard work in commitment, dedication lead to your towards the success. Basically no one can stop and nothing is impossible, and never to give up. Work hard, that is your responsibility. Parents will do their commitment somehow with this crisis, and at home you can do more work these days and do more papers. Exam is getting close day by day, so we shall go down there. Now we'll stop for today. Have a good day and God bless you, and we'll conclude the rest next week.